Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com. Hello everybody and welcome to the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name is Dungeon Dave and I am extremely excited to host a game that we are about to play. This campaign has been in the works, well, for a long time, ever since I met the creator around a very similar gaming table and had a chance to hear the passion and excitement in his voice as he described the world that he had created. And this world, my friends, is Nuovarden. It's a dimension of wide open mystery and infinite discovery created by our very own DungeonMisterTy up there. I'm going to let Ty tell you all about the world as we get started here, but I've got a few announcements to make before I do, as we do over here at Guild Superior. I want to just quickly say, Ty, thank you so much for bringing this here. Very, very excited to host this and to have you on our stream to take us deep into your world. I'm equally excited to play with these awesome people, welcoming Lamar and Udahime to the community. I'm thrilled to welcome Ashley back for another game here on Guild Superior. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm so damn excited. My palms are sweating. I'm nervous and I'm just excited. Couple of quick things. Programming wise, Guild Superior's got some great stuff coming up. Tomorrow, Thursday, we have our Shade Song with Bleak Season and a great cast for that one shot in his saga. On Sunday, we're going back to Blade Runner with another great table of players, and we're going to see as we start to close in on the mystery, we're going to see what happens with some of the reveals. And then there's a whole week after that with great games coming up again with our Monday Night Mayhem, more Greyhawk, and then we're back to Nuovarden next week. This is a 8-week mini campaign that we're going to be playing here. Really excited to kick this off tonight. If you want to support our channel, please consider following Guild Superior. We would appreciate that. And if you're following, consider subscribing. But most importantly, just hang out with us in the chat. Have a good time. Get goofy. Have fun. Ask questions. And just enjoy your time with us. We really appreciate that. If you want to influence the game, you can influence Fortune's favor. You can trigger that by donating 100 bits to grant one player of your choice one reroll opportunity. So we've built in a little bit of an opportunity for you folks in the chat to get involved with the game. We do have a giveaway as well. Ty and his team have donated graciously the core rule book that we're going to give away digital copies of. So every week we'll have a giveaway for that. And when that is ready, we will send that to you digitally for your gaming enjoyment. And I think you're going to love it. It's beautiful. Great artwork, a great lore to this crazy, cool world. So please sign up to win. All you have to do is type !drawing in the chat and you will be entered to win. And the last thing I want to encourage you to do, friends, is to join the Nuovarden mailing list by going over to adventureslang.com. Jump on the mailing list. You'll get updates on new things that are coming out from the team over there. And if you sign up during this 8-week period, you will also have an opportunity, if you choose to help back their next project, to get some special perks. So I encourage you to do that. And now I think I have hit everything that is on my list. I probably forgot something, Ty, but I'm going to hand it over to you so that we can dive into Nuovarden. I'm so excited. Ty, thank you so much. Take it away.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate being here. We have talked about this for a long time, and it's awesome for me to sit with everyone and to share Nuovarden, the world, the system, the Fortunes D4 system, and all of the things that Adventure Slang has been working on for a year and a half now in the development of this entire system and game. And then also to have the opportunity to play with everyone, as you said, who is joining us tonight. The setting, this is a non-medieval fantasy setting. And a lot of people say, what does that mean, non-medieval? We're not looking at elves and dwarves and knights and castles and things like that. We have a different realm altogether with other classes, but we don't call them classes, and other abilities that have their own name in a discipline and things like that. So we're gonna play through the game, and there will be some explaining as we go, because some of the players are new to the system and audience members are new to the system. We have played this on stream before in little increments, so some people may be somewhat familiar with it, but there are also some new wrinkles that you haven't seen either. in the course of this development. We are going to be following the trail of our 4 characters as they go about doing the things that they're going to do, like you do with any adventure. This realm is full of exploration because even the people that have always been here don't know what is going on. And I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to the prelude. Before we do that, however, I would like my awesome players to introduce themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and call out to each of you as I see you on my screen, beginning with Ashley. If you would just tell us about yourself and where folks can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and you can find me here on Tuesday nights for Heroes of Greyhawk. So come back and join us then. We'd love to see you drop by. We have a lot of fun.
Perfect, thank you. Utahime, would you please tell us where to find you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Utahime. You can find me at UTAHIME cosplay pretty much everywhere, including Hive now, and at Brianna on Twitter, at Brianna DeCosta on Twitter, because I'm still on Twitter for now. We'll see what happens. I am community manager for 2 amazing communities, the Initiative Order and Cyber Nation Uncensored. So you can find me pretty much there in the Discord chats. And also, too, I'm up to lots of TTRPG shenanigans. So again, follow me to kind of keep up with my schedule. I'm also, too, a cosplayer. And you can catch me at Cosplay Expo on December 9th through 11th in Vegas. So if you are a Vegas native, I would love to meet you in person. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Lamar.
Good morning to you, lots, lasses, both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. That's Lemar the Con Guy. You can find me everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Hive, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-toothed Tiger, and Tyrannosaurus as Lamar the Con Guy. Go to lamartheconguy.com. You might see some comedy there. Please don't watch that if you're under 18.
Hey, and this is your second time playing Nuovarden, so you are the only other one at the table right now who has any experience with what's going on. Ooh, saving me. And finally, our host at Superior Adventurers Guild, Dave.
Oh, hi, everybody. You know me. I'm Dave. I play games, produce games, and run games here on Guild Superior. I love playing games with old friends and new friends. And I've just been thrilled with what we've been able to do over here in the past year. And to just top it off, this is like the cherry on top to kick this off. And we've been talking about it, like I mentioned before, for quite a long time, Ty, since we met. I think it was at like it was in a con. We were a digital con. We were playing over at Time Lord's Wife's channel, I believe. Mm-hmm. And we hit it off, and we had a great table. And there you go. That's how you make friends. So I encourage folks, if you want to get involved with these types of games, jump in on a game. Get into some of these Discords where people are connecting and looking for people to play. And boy, that's the way to do it. I'm so glad that we met, and I'm glad we're getting into it. So thank you.
Here. And I am DungeonMisterTy on the socials, also at Adventure Slang on the socials, currently Twitter. But you know what? You can find everything at adventureslang.com. Our socials are on there. Our podcast is on there. Our schedule is on there. We have videos of past VODs. Yes, we have a podcast. Did I mention that? I just did. We have all kinds of things going on at Adventure Slang. You can see sneak peek graphics of the game. You can find the beta rules, which we're using tonight for this game, and test it out for yourself. Maps, character sheets, form fillable, by the way. And I will also proudly mention that my partner in crime, my daughter, Erin Dippity, is the master crafter for our technology and has made the PDF searchable and the character sheet form fillable. So we are covering the bases as best we can. So please come over and find us at adventureslang.com, where, as Dave mentioned earlier, you can sign up for our mailing list, get updates, and be eligible for nice, legitimate, swaggy gifts. So we look forward to seeing you on there. Enter the giveaway to try and win your copy of the rule book. It will be full color and searchable and all the cool stuff that the cool kids need these days. And other than that, I think we're about ready to step into the world of Nuovarden and find out who our explorers are. All right. "100 years ago, a great event occurred known as the Emergence, a sudden shift in the paradigm of a dimension forever after known as Nuovarden. Overnight, that first ever twilight, the realm became populated no longer by 2 peoples, but by 8. 6 new cultures rose from the rush of manifestation energy that had previously seeped into the realm, drawn from the 7th people called the Starnum. The 8th people, the Landplaque, had lived until then as the apex species in a lush and simple garden, but with the Emergence, their lives were greatly changed. Today, we begin the story of 4 among the many denizens of Nuovarden, 100 years hence, as they explore the unknown in a world that is ever-changing, revealing its magnificent new mysteries, its wild and unfamiliar beasts, and the new forces that have gradually been revealed to 5 generations of explorers who have thus far uncovered a mere percentage of life as it now is. Join us as we follow in their steps to discover the present and rediscover the past in this vast new garden, Nuovarden. "3 days in camp is enough to make anyone forget that the wilds are dangerous and unknown. Anything unknown is a relief after the last 3 days. The shouts and clamor of the other campers at odd hours, a random collection of explorers like yourself in search of answers to all the great mysteries, both internal and external, unique to the individual as well as common to all, clustered about like so many enthusiastic children. Your own team came together more by symbiosis than planning. Ila, proud huntress of the Nalnik family of generations so far gone before the Emergence that even her own people don't remember all of the stories. First Foundation, alive since that first day after the Emergence, now something of a derelict among the uncanny Wotan. Tosh, of the Ixia, their eyes bound by some ceremonial decree particular to their traditions, enigmatic, quiet, hovering. And Ode, precocious, wonder-filled, and unwilling to take "go away" as an answer, a childlike and unpredictable tag-along. Whether stated or otherwise, this is your troop. Destination Aksha Loa Kaln, Land of Dark Return, an active, densely populated town on the Al Tuiren, the Good River. From there, who is to say? And players, if you would please introduce your characters. Ash, if you would begin again for us.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. I am playing Ode. So Ode is am I saying it right? Lenny?
Lenai.
Lenai.
Yeah.
And Lenai are like a magical kind of a creature that can change the environment. And Ode is this child-sized, kind of like you can't tell if they are a boy or a girl. Their skin is mostly kind of rock gray, with darker kind of volcanic rock arms and feet that are chunkier, and a middle section that seems to be partially made of some kind of amethyst with veins of blue and green running through their face, maybe some flecks of mica or other purple gemstone kind of a thing. And they are very mischievous.
Wonderful. Do you have any obvious gear? Do you carry anything? Do you run around as Stone Cold Self?
You know, it kind of appears like the amethyst is almost like like a wrap or like a double wrap that kind of obscures, like any kind of thing on a human, so it's almost like I'm wearing a little amethyst outfit. And I have just a satchel on me, that seems to have like maybe a little bit of rope sticking out of it. And that's all you can kind of tell. I'm not really wearing like an outfit like a normal human person might be.
Thank you. Excellent. Utahime, would you please introduce Ila?
Of course. I'm playing Ela Nelnik. She stands at 7 foot tall. She is a big girl. She is 250 pounds of just pure muscle. She has really long brown curly hair, dark tan skin. You could tell that she's very, very accustomed to being in the outdoors. She has deep brown eyes. She wears a dark red colored crop cloth top that has no sleeves, but it has these really bright blue straps that kind of come up around the neck and the shoulders. She has this brown hide, almost like leather type bracers on either arm. She has a brown cloth skirt that almost is like fitted around her waist, almost like a sarong would. And then she has a very distinct pauldron that's made of stone on her right arm. And it's held together by leather cords. And then etched onto one of the plates of that stone is her family sigil that has the sky crystal with a very familiar bird for some, probably Ela especially, the corticent. And its talons hooking out from either side of the left and the right lower facets of that sky crystal. And she actually has some kind of leather hide that's protecting her shins, but she's not wearing shoes. She has at her back, basically tied with some leather cord, basically her makeshift spear. So it's made of like wood from the trees and stone at the very tip, sharpened. And also too, at her side, she has actually on her back, she has a large satchel that's made of hide that carries all of her belongings. But at her side, she has what she has attempted many times to make. It's a part of a bow. So it's kind of, it's curved, but you can tell anyone who is familiar, especially First Foundation, would be very familiar. It's not quite the right angle for it to be effective, but she's been trying her best to carve the perfect bow, but it's still a work in progress, and that's at her hip.
Awesome. Thank you. Lamar.
You see Tosh, a barely just under 5 foot blue skinned, we'll call them humanoid figure, dressed in similarly dark, almost black, navy, dark and blue robes that are disheveled. They seem to be purely there for form for function over form. They seem to have very short hair on one side of their head and then long black hair that stretches down to their shoulder, with the tips being bits of red and things over their nature. They keep a few pieces of jewelry, earrings in their ear, kind of a dirty gold, almost bronzy, which also nose piercing as well, kind of shocking like stars upon their dark blue skin. Their eyes are actually covered with a black blindfold, if you will, cloth covering their eyes as they seem to be walking. They carry with them a large, well, they're using it as a walking stick at this point, there's a pointy end at the end, around their hips with rope keeping it to them is a satchel of various things. On their back is another backpack that seems to hold enough to carry a tent or two. They have rudimentary shoes made of vines and twigs and things found across the ground, and they seem to be looking back and forth as they walk gently through, constantly wondering and keeping their heads to the side as if listening or trying to find something.
Awesome. Thank you. That's Tosh. And Dave, who do we have?
Yes, I am thrilled to be playing First Foundation. This one is 6 feet tall, crafted uncannily to appear humanoid, although any engagement with this entity would give off the fact that it certainly is not the same as others. While being biologic in origin, it is crafted of wood and stone and metal. It wears a likeness of some of the other cultures in this land upon its face. It has strangely 3 legs, though 2 arms that end in strange 3-fingered hands, and it has a bronzed armor that it wears, banged up, scraped and scarred perhaps. It is riveted to the frame of this structure. You could almost think of like in some sort of a different world, it might be considered like robotic in nature, but where joints in some of the other creatures, you see swivels that can swivel almost 360 degrees. Its head can swivel around and look in multiple directions. And it is quite uncanny. It's got this armor that is riveted to its frame and with these stone seams it wears in order to sort of not really disguise its nature, but to try to blend in a little bit more at some of these range camps. It wears a hood over its head, and it wears a cloak and a sash, and it does its best to blend in. It has traveled a long ways, moving from range camp to eventually embark upon an adventure with a new group of people, seeking, as you sort of hinted at, Ty, a new purpose. And we'll see if that new purpose reveals itself.
Excellent. Thank you. I will add that a range camp, for those who don't know, a range camp is a location where explorers meet to find allies as they go about seeking their quest. For those of you in Roll20, you can look and see we have an image there suggesting what a range camp might look like at twilight. In a range camp, there are campers who are there again to find allies. There are generally there's a trade person there who has wares and foodstuffs to trade for in the barter system. And other things can be discovered at range camps, including rumors and suggestions about where explorers might go. In the realm of Nuovarden, or in this world, there are old land plaque villages. So the ancestors of Ila had lived in these villages that were fairly rudimentary wooden structures. They had a great central hall and then homes around and tanning yards and gardens and all kinds of stuff. When the emergence happened and the Wotan, First Foundations people, appeared, many of the land plaque were uncertain about how to interact with these other people and left. And they left those villages to the Wotan, and many of the Wotan eventually abandoned them as well, and ultimately has dotted the entire realm with ruins. Some of the ruins are still occupied by Wotan. Some of the ruins are taken over by other creatures. You never know unless the ruin has been reestablished and there's record of it, what and who is actually there. Let's see. So the ruins make for good exploration because there are a number of reasons that an explorer would go out and try to find information or discover things. recovering artifacts, finding records, collecting materials. There's all sorts of things. And as I suggested in the prelude, some individuals have their own reasons for going out as well. And they vary as much between cultures as they, even more so between individuals. Let's carry on. You've barely had time to get to know each other properly. Your motivations remain unspoken, though you all agree that Akshalo is a worthy first destination. Each of you evaluates your supplies, deciding whether or not to visit the trade wagon before you leave. The long day is ahead. And what do you wish to do? And as you think about that, you have gathered, as I said, more almost by accident, more than by deliberate intent, because each of you is at the camp for your own reason, and you have either agreed to travel together, or some of you have imposed yourselves on the group. And we can see how that unfolds in just a moment. I will, let's see, I was going to mention something else and it's escaping me. So let's turn it over to the players as you think about your plan for the day. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. You have a 14-hour day of light. Ela mentioned the sky crystal. The sky crystal is a central light source in Nuovarden. It is not a sun. It does not set. It doesn't move. In fact, it's centrally located somewhere very high above a massive lake that is a landmark for the Lamplight people in particular, but it has become a landmark for all the people in the world because it's where the sky crystal shines above, and it is used for navigation regardless of where you're at in the realm. After 14 hours, almost suddenly, pretty much suddenly, the sky crystal will dim and 10 hours of twilight befalls. And this is where in the last 100 years, the creatures of the realm discovered that they needed rest and they needed to recover. Typically, about 8 hours of rest is enough. The other 2 hours are used for crafting, writing, repair, healing, whatever sorts of things, eating, and those sorts of things that travelers wish to do. That is not to say that travelers can't travel during the twilight, which is referred to as the darkening, but typically it's safer when you can see. So that's kind of the gist of it. We are beginning early in the day when there is plenty of time to head to your destination. And now I will return it over to the players if you wish to discuss amongst yourselves your plan for the day.
First Foundation approaches Ela. First Foundation has finished repairs. Do we intend to set out today?
I would hope so. To make as much use of the light as we can. To get as far as we can. Oh,
Yes.
by the way, I was working on improving the structure, as you mentioned. I don't know, take a look. Is it improved?
I will inspect. Foundation looks at the structure, the way that it's put together. You are making progress.
I was hoping more than just progress. It won't fire within range or at all.
This one will give it a more significant analysis.
Have you tried just like maybe shooting fire out of your hands, or like splashing them with water? I mean, bows are nice, but maybe.
Little one, I think you forget. I am not like you. I can't do all it is that you are able to do, and your abilities are very much different from mine.
Well, we'll just give you some time then. And Ode digs into their satchel and pulls out 2 little rocks. Just like Mick and Mac, eventually you'll be able to do something different. And she takes the rocks and they click them together and they make a spark. even rocks can be different. What's the
Well,
point?
I can actually do that, and she pulls her spear from her back, and then as she reaches out to O to try to take one of the rocks that she just pulled, they just basically put out in front. May I?
Okay. Be gentle.
And yeah, no, of course. And then she's gonna try to hit the stone in order to make that friction to kind of do the same.
Good job.
Yes, but I just can't do that from these. And she's gonna like hold out her hand. But with tools.
As this conversation is happening, First Foundation's head is spinning around slowly, 360 degrees. Have you seen the blue one?
That
Oh
one's
yeah, where's our new
always-
friend?
That one's always wandering off.
As you look for Tosh, you find them actually like standing off to the side, looking into a hole of a tree that seems to have been like punctured in for a bit, and they seem very curious and sticking their staff in there and looking through their cloth as they keep their eyes covered.
Oh, it's the holes again.
It seems fascinated by the holes.
Who wouldn't be? Owen just walks over there. Anything good?
No. I didn't. No. Wood. Nothing but wood. Bugs. But nothing but wood and bugs.
I
Aw.
don't think I understand what exactly are you hoping to find within the hole? That's still not clear to me.
I don't know. I'm trying to find that out.
Well, that makes it much more difficult.
Yes.
I mean, animals can be found in certain holes. Creatures.
Treasures?
You see Tosh just kind of shrugging and then walks over to Ella and like with their free hand grabs her hand like they're about to walk away and just kind of like just looks around continuously.
Are you leading me to another hole?
No. Safety.
Owen walks up and takes her other hand and just stands there.
Ela looks around, kind of like, is there danger afoot? Like, just trying to figure out why safety was mentioned, because now she's on alert. She was totally fine before.
Tosh gives a small smile. I feel safe near you. You provide safety.
There is
Well-
safety in numbers, that is true. The probability of survival is much greatened.
You see Ela kind of like she's kind of like, okay, like she's like a little bit happy to hear that basically there's others that feel safer with her around. So she kind of like straightens up a little bit more and kind of like flexes a little bit her biceps as she holds the hands, but not squeezing their hands. It's just like she's just trying to look even stronger than she already obviously looks to everyone else.
I like how our group is two small things, two very large things.
Yeah.
It is definitely Vegas vacation.
It's beautiful. I believe
So
they
having
are ready
decided
to
then-
depart.
Yeah, where are we going?
We're heading to the land of no return. Remember, I mentioned that I know some people in that area who might be able to help me. Well, I mean, you all have different, I guess, different reasons why you're heading in that direction versus why I'm going, of course. I don't think you actually explained why you're heading in the same direction as me.
Oh, well, I'm looking for something that I lost or forgot and lost. the last time that I regenerated.
Oh, when was that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Is that something that happens when the regeneration occurs?
Well, sometimes you remember, and sometimes you don't remember. And I feel like I have forgotten something that I can't remember. So, I think it's best if I just, look around and see if anything jogs my memory.
I see. Quite frankly, I have a lot of questions for both you and Tosh. What is your reasoning?
My creators believe there's a meaning in nothingness. I told them that I do not understand or don't agree. They told me I must leave until I find my answer. Following you seems to be the a direction to finding an answer. For this group has provided many answers, like go to sleep. Not all holes should be investigated.
It's a hard one to learn.
Yes.
You have to be very careful. When we go further, there's larger holes. That usually means more danger because the chances of a larger creature coming from said hole and swallowing you whole, literally, it's much higher.
Okay.
So just stay close. First Foundation, are you wanting to go with me to the village, or are you going to also try to find something you're missing?
This one has made a decision to join your path, as I too am seeking a renewed purpose. Not answers, but a way to be productive, to contribute. I am far from home and far from what I know from my former purpose. For the moment, this path shall be mine too.
Well,
I would like-
I'll appreciate the company, that's for sure.
All
this
right,
point,
let's do it.
I will interject and just to clarify a little bit for the audience. So we have the Lenai, who spoke of being regenerated, is from a culture of people that reincarnate. When they die, they reform as the elements do, and come back sometimes with more and sometimes with fewer memories. For that reason, they tend to see others of their kind as extended family all the time, and there's a lot of enthusiasm there. This differs from the Lamplac people, Elis people, who have a more similar terminal lifespan of 80 to 100 years, who raise children and families, as we're more familiar with in a more of a reproductive kind of community, which is different from Tosh, whose people manifest into being and live indefinite lifespans, as opposed to First Foundation's people, who are generally repurposed at the end of their usefulness into new life forms as they're needed within the culture. So substantial differences for each. As you, as a group, decide therefore to proceed, has everyone checked their gear? Are you all good as far as supplies go? And if no one wants to purchase anything, you may leave the range camp and head towards your destination.
And it's Ashalo.
Aksha Lo.
Ashalo.
And it's 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 a little bit awkward actually. Laksha Oakaln. The ALN is awkward to say, but Laksha Oakaln is
Dark
the
Return.
full name.
Sorry, Dark Return. Not No Return. That was what I was saying.
Close.
It's
Land
just
of
as terrifying. I'm going to be honest.
I was about to say, can we return from there? Like,
I don't know.
So my mistake, everyone. I'm trying to remember the name.
That won't be the first time because everything's new. But I will say for Ila, you are familiar with this. You are quite familiar with this town. It's very large. It sits on a river, a very, very big river. And it is, it goes back into the history of your family as well as the Yalonk family, who the two families, the Nalniks and the Yalonks, built Akshalo. There's a south hub and a north hub on either side of the river. And it is a modern village or a modern town compared to the ruins. So when the families left their old villages after the emergence, they ultimately joined together and built Akshalo. There was a bridge there prior, but they reinforced it. So instead of the old, very old wooden bridge that used to be there, it's now a stone reinforced bridge that traverses the better part of about 3 miles. So you actually, Ila, have family there, being from this whole region in particular.
Ty, is there,
Yes.
just kind of table talk here, are the languages of Nuovarden, are they diversified into the cultures? So for example, is Akshalo, is that a terminology or is that from the language of the Lomplok?
The only language differentiation is that old Lomplok, and then the translation into the language that everyone speaks. Because the other cultures, when they emerged, they all came together. And the transition from the Lomplok and the Starnum, the way they were prior to the emergence to now, they were enveloped in that development, that emergence. And so the language was unified among all cultures. But there is record of the old Lomplok, and so there's overlap. A lot of the landmarks, place names and things like that have Lomplok names because they were the people that were there.
Thanks.
Everyone else is new to some degree, including the Starnum, who were not originally from Nuovarden. And in fact, they are the ones that influenced this emergence when they arrived. Now, I also will say one other thing. First Foundation, your memory goes back to that first day. Probably the rest of you, certainly Ila, no. Ila, you are how old? I will let you say.
Yeah, I'm 20, so I'm still fairly young.
All right, so you're
Not
the
as
fifth.
traveled.
You're the earliest of the 5 generations since the emergence. And then we know that Ode has had other lives that they can't quite remember.
I remember some of them. Probably a lot, but maybe not as much as I think I do.
And then Tosh, similar to First Foundation, once you arrived, you just have always been. And that for the Iksha is a little bit more the philosophy anyway. Once aware, have always been kind of thing. So excellent. Okay, so deciding then to head towards Akshalo, and we will assume, Ila, that you know the general direction. Now, I believe at least one of you has a navigation lens. A couple of you do. So that is very helpful in making sure you stay on track. I will show you, let me show you a map in roll 20 to give you some idea of the region. So the little blue dot down here is where you're at. Each hex is 4 miles. It takes about 2.5 hours to cross. So you are about 12 hours from Akshalo. This is the south hub. Sorry, not 12, 7, 8. This is Akshalo and the bridge and the north hub. There's also a well-known ruin in the area Svarn il Palak, which is a former village and a former Nalnik village, most likely. So
This is a 4-mile bridge. Good Lord.
yeah, it's one of the largest rivers, definitely in the south region, of the overall landscape, the overall realm, honestly. But
Would Ela know anything or have heard about this particular ruin or no?
give me a called roll lore. Let's have the first roll.
Ooh, first roll. Yay.
So a called roll, for everyone's edification, is 2 dice, 2d4. The target number on either die is a 4. With lore, so I mentioned it was a called roll lore. If the roller, the character, has the lore discipline, they may use primacy on the roll. Primacy allows them to change the outcome of one of the dice, up or down one number.
Okay.
But you don't have lore,
I do
Ela, at this
not.
point.
Whole lot of body, not a lot of lore.
But you know what? I'm going to let you roll this at.
Oh, I got double 4s.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
First roll of the night.
That's good. That's good.
Why do I have a feeling
First
that
roll of the
should have
game,
been,
son.
should have been
Yeah.
like later?
Get ready, folks.
Oh
It's all
god.
downhill from here.
I know, that's why I'm like, oh no.
You know very well the ruin of Svarn Palak. Let me tell you what you know. So Svarn al Palak means the good high place. This was an ancestral village for the Nalnik people. It was one of the most prominent villages, and it's definitely where your family line comes straight out from there. Other than that, it was a standard village. It's somewhat higher up in the mountain, so it takes some climbing to get to, but it is a ruin at this point, and it's not a place that you have been probably ever.
Okay, but I feel like because of the fact that Ela admired her, or at least she was inspired by her great grandmother for just all of the different stories of her different feats and her explorations. And I think that because of the fact that she just looked up to her so much growing up and wanted to be like her, I think that that's probably why she would know of that particular area. Not necessarily that she's been, but she feels like she heard enough of her family and like the family back in the day being there in that location, and you know, just kind of like all of that glory. So
Yes.
she probably is like excited that at least they're heading in that direction. But technically, it's closer to go to Akshalo versus going to the ruins.
Well, it's kind of up to you. Akshalo is a settlement. Svarn al Palak is a ruin. So you would have different reasons for going to either one, right? So if you're
Yes,
heading
okay.
to Akshalo, you're going there for information, supplies,
Yes,
training, access to the bridge, to cross, things like that. If you're going to Svarn al Palak, you're going there to explore.
Okay.
So it's kind of up to you. Like does Ela become so motivated to dodge over to the old ancestral, location that she
Tempting.
Yeah. Or
It
do
is.
you stay on track with because you do have a specific purpose for going to Akshalo,
Yes,
correct?
I think for her, because of the fact that, especially because First Foundation knows that she's been trying in the times that she's kind of come back and forth to the range camp, especially at the time that they've recently spent it, especially as a group, she still has been working to try to craft a bow so she can actually put it to use, because she's not that is not her weapon that she's skilled in, but because of the fact that her great grandmother was such a skilled archer, she's wanting to also to achieve that same level of skill in that particular weapon style. So I think that because of the fact that she's still like, okay, this having a ranged weapon of this sort also too will prove helpful in the end. especially because of the fact that she does a lot of hunting and such. So she's probably going to stay focused on the original mission, but she's definitely, because of the fact that she knows it's like where the like kind of like almost like where coordinates are, she's like, she definitely will probably be interested in possibly going there at some point as well.
Has Ela shared this information about the ruins with the rest of the group?
I believe that she would have kind of talked about it. So if anyone had asked her, she probably was talking about her great-grandmother and how amazing she was and her family, because she takes such pride in her family's history that she probably would have mentioned, along the way, there's the ruins that my families for generations have been, and I want to try to, at some point, explore them. And maybe, I don't know, maybe there's traces of my grandmother that are still there. But I need to stay focused because it's very important that I train and I become better.
The ruins could hold insights, as you say, to your family lineage and perhaps to your desire to improve your skill. It could also be that the ruins could hold resources that could be helpful as we enter the village.
That's also true. I feel like going to Akshalo, though, first is the better approach, because at least I can speak with my family who's there, and I haven't been to the ruins. If there's any dangers or any things that we need to keep in mind as we travel in that direction, because it's higher in the mountains, at least then we have the foresight and we have the information we need to make it an easier trip, hopefully, and safer.
Yes,
and then she looks directly at Tosh. Safe.
There are many holes there, I'm sure.
Oh, there's probably plenty. Maybe it's one of the holes that you're looking for, Tosh.
Antique holes.
Tosh just gives a gentle smile and holds onto Ella's hand a bit tighter, and just seems to be having their head wander, like getting a little.
Do you need a better vantage point? And then like she's going to like pick Tosh up if Tosh allows it. Like she's gonna kind of like.
They immediately get wiggly. No.
Okay. I thought that you just needed to be higher. You seem to be looking around up towards the sky.
No. Ground.
No.
Tosh,
Like she would have like gestured like she was going to. She didn't pick you up, but
you would still see Tosh.
Like
Tosh like immediately like wince down when you're about to break it. Like,
Get low.
Tosh, can you see with that blindfold on?
The answer is not no.
Do you use your eyes?
Yes. Do you see anyone else that looks like me around?
Negative.
No.
Tosh just slowly lifts up their blindfold and puts it around their forehead, and you see these deep black void-like eyes.
Oh.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They literally glitter like stone in Tasha's head. There's no white at all. It's just a void black gaze.
Very normal.
For my people, yes. I understand that some do not care for our appearance, but that is of no consequence.
Well, I think that your eyes look great. Very different, but the differences make us all unique and special. At least that's what I tell all of my little cousins. I have quite a few of them.
I'm sure that information helps them.
Will we meet more of the small ones then when we meet your family?
Oh, I have quite a large family, so there'll probably be at least 20.
Oh.
Does Tosh know if there are other Ixa at this location?
In the range camp?
Yeah, not the range camp, but where we're going.
At Oxalo, there probably are. Oxalo is pretty cosmopolitan. It's gonna, yeah.
So bring the fun right back down to cover their eyes.
There are a number of factions. There are families. There are the cultures. There are the subcultures. There are all sorts of people. And Oxalo is the kind of place where pretty much all of them are going to come and go or set up. There's, there are also a lot of craftsmen and a lot of trade made there and all sorts of stuff. So definitely Oxalo is going to be a place where the chances of running into fellow Ixia are very high.
As Tosh brings their blindfold back down, it's like, my people cannot see me without my blindfold until I have found my answer.
Oh, okay.
Well, just don't lift it up anymore. So then that way, in case there is one of your kind around, they don't catch you.
Yeah, we don't want to get you in trouble or anything.
What will
Thank you.
happen if you are caught with your eyes exposed?
Shame, further exile, punishment, abandonment.
First
That sounds
Foundation
terrible.
will kind of kneel down next to Tosh and say, "My blue friend, I will keep an eye out for you then and let you know."
Please make sure you keep your eye within your head, for that's where it belongs.
Yeah, we can blindfold you too if you need to keep it in.
I prefer
Sorry.
not.
No? Oh, okay. I guess you'll take your chances then.
We should probably keep proceeding forward then.
With that, Tosh will nod, and with Ella's, with holding Ella's hand, will begin walking forward. They actually will pull out their Navi lens and just kind of peek under it every once in a while to make sure.
Also,
they follow.
I'm curious because how tall are you again?
About 4'10".
Okay, because I was just like in my head, I'm like the stride for Ela at 7 feet. It's probably a lot wider. So I'm assuming that you're kind of like, it's almost like a swinging motion, like you're kind of like attached at the hip in a way because you kind of have to have that same momentum going.
We could like
Leading
put
you
the two
forward?
of the small ones between us and do like the thing with the little kid in the middle where you swing them
That's
forward.
what I imagine they can
Yeah.
only keep up that way.
I'm only 3 feet tall, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're little ones. But I think we move forward towards Akshalo.
Okay. You continue working through the forest, eyeing the various mounds of turned earth, fans of tree roots fallen and exposed in some prior chaos, and the deeper shadows cast by such land shapes. Gradually, the forest opens onto grasslands and a vast plain. Perhaps a quarter-mile off, you make out the angular shapes of partial structures and the visible activity of various figures milling about. So you have exited the forest and you have opened out onto a plain. Now, this is, back to Ela, this is like the hunting grounds, right? This is where the biggest prey tends to travel. And there's a very common bovine type animal called a gore. And the gore stand 10 to 12 feet tall. When they're domesticated and ridden, there's actually a braided rope that has to hang down so people can climb up onto them. They have they have massive humps on their back, tremendously muscular, and they have a single protruding curved horn that comes out of the center of their head. Think a bulky bull rhino camel.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining. I'm like, okay, this is a combination of the two.
Yeah. And they travel in massive herds across the plains, and they're very commonly hunted. They're domesticated. They're also wild, and they're highly populous. So,
Are they?
Who the hell domesticated this 12-foot
My people,
monster.
okay? My people, because we are really big, so
Good
it's not as
God.
intimidating.
Why do you think they call them gores?
So-
I'm sure it's by accident.
So in my head, so they're not necessarily, unless you are aggressive with them, they're probably not gonna like
Gore ya?
charge you. Yeah, they're not gonna
Yeah.
charge you with their pointy horn. Okay, great.
They can be protective of the herd. They do stampede, but they're not hunters or anything like that.
Okay.
They're not what's the term I'm looking for?
Like predatory?
Predators. Yeah.
Not okay. That's what I thought. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
How many are there in the field?
Currently, you don't see any, but you
Oh.
do see this these angular structures in the distance. Like I said, about quarter mile as the ground gently rises and falls. You can see that there's some sort of probably a ruin. It doesn't appear to have a very big footprint, but there is that and activity milling about that appears to be humanoid.
Okay, and that's, you said the distance for that? For
Quarter
that?
mile.
Quarter mile. Okay.
It could be good to speak with these travelers, perhaps, to see what lies ahead. Do you get the sense that it could be dangerous?
Well, there is a way that I could have a higher vantage point to try to see what lies ahead. And in that moment, that is when Ela's going to try to activate her ability to
Okay.
change her body.
Okay. Are you changing into the?
I'm going to sprout courtesan rings. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I believe that is within your range. So you will give. So I assume this will be a call roll, so you can do 2 dice and see how that goes.
Okay. Or it's a creature morph. Sorry, I think
Creature
I called
morph,
it wrong. Yes. Okay, so I got a 4 and a 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Now, just so that you know, if you were going for a larger creature than what you normally would be able to, you could bump that 3 to a 4 for doubles for the high success and actually achieve that larger size, that size factor 4 bigger. As it stands, this is what you wanted to achieve, and you did. So the rest of you watch. How does that look to you, Elo, when you creature morph?
Yeah, so it actually would sound, it wouldn't have a good sound because it's basically kind of like literally her body, her joints are like bones, everything is shifting. So you hear that kind of crunching, almost as if someone's like, if they're cracking their neck or like whatever. You're like if they're cracking their knuckles, cracking their neck. And as that happens, basically through the skin, but there's no blood. It's just basically where it's that shift where the wings then come from through the flesh. So you'll see where the feathers sprout out and take its shape. Still having that same sound where it's like then where it just kind of expands outward. And they go pretty far because of the fact that Ela is larger and a courtesan's wings are pretty big. So the rest of her body is pretty much the same. It's just that she sprouted those large wings. And I believe that the creature, I want to say the wings are usually like a cream or white color.
They're actually
wrong? Or gray?
they're actually like bat wings. They're membranous.
Oh, okay. I think I had the wrong idea.
okay.
But yeah, then yes, it would
I'm
have
gonna put a
that.
picture for you. I'm throwing a picture into Roll20 that I will share here, so that you know what the Corsican looks like.
Ooh. It's like a bat hawk or something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That is
Terrifying.
I think I
Yes.
just ate that last week. That is
Yes. So basically, the difference. Okay, for this, because of the fact that it's more membrane, it actually would look similar to her skin color. So it would be actually that same tan, and almost like it sounds really bad, but it's like almost like the pointed ends are basically look like they're bone.
Okay.
So it's definitely not a normal sight for most people, but it is a part of her. So I imagine now I'm kind of picturing like Demona from like Gargoyles, like that kind of
Fair.
wing. So once that happens, she's going to kind of take a little bit of a running start to kind of get that first gust of wind
look
to try
out.
to take her up. And she's
All right.
going to try to go the distance to try to see from above the vantage point and see if it's some friendly creatures or potentially dangerous.
Okay. So as Ela morphs into this creature, her equipment just absorbs, and the body changes and wraps around where Ela was to replace this bird of prey, which is a familiar threat to everyone. If you haven't seen one, you've heard of it. And but you watch your companion change into it, and so therefore
I
who's
let
there.
Ella's hand go. I just
Yeah.
want to let you know. I'm just gonna go ahead and
Oh
do
no,
that.
she would have let it go when she.
Yeah. No, I just
So you're
want to
not
let you know that
taking-
Tosh also let go.
Would this be something that would be kind of not that alarming to us, or would this be kind of startling that all of a sudden our companion transforms like this?
This may be the first time you've seen it, right?
Oh, just claps. Good job.
It's quite curious.
New discovery for Tosh. Oh, that's a thing.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what Tosh's lips were.
Okay.
Just gonna put the blindfold back down and walks over to First Foundation and grabs their hand.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Hang on tight.
So here's the thing for you, Ela. In order to maintain this form, you will pretty quickly have to attempt to keep it going.
Okay.
But you launch into the air and just beeline for the area. And as you swoop up and get that elevation and head toward, it doesn't take you too long to get that speed and cover that distance. As you're approaching, you look down and you can see it is indeed a very small ruin of some former village that was there. And it appears that the figures that are in there are entirely Wotan. You can tell because they've got various figures have different limb structures, and they move about. Some of them move about very methodically, right? So they appear to be harvesting something. It's not obvious what. It looks like maybe they're just taking timbers that are remaining there, moving rocks. There are also wagons and sleds that are loaded with various degrees of this kind of material that looks like they have collected, maybe not here, but elsewhere. Roughly a dozen of these Wotan, and they're all Wotan, similar to First Foundation.
Okay. And then it would take, basically, I would have to try to roll to try to see if I could make it back to the group. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, let's say you swoop up and you do a like half distance fly over and see what you see, and then start heading back. And as you're coming in, let's see if you you maintain it.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. I got a 4 and a 2.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So you still hold that form and you're doing fine. So however you want to come in.
Yeah, I would make sure that basically like the way that I would come in is not, it's like a little bit away from the group. So then that way I don't end up with the wings coming down, like sweeping the little ones like into the air. So basically, yeah, like at an
Really
angle,
windy.
like, you know, so then that way it avoids, like, so they probably would feel the breeze, but it'd be in such a way where the wind would be going in another direction safely while she lands to like obviously talk with the group.
Okay, so you come down, tap, tap, land on the ground, strut around for a few minutes as you wait. Interesting thing about manifestations is they kind of have to run their duration.
Yeah.
And so it's just a couple of seconds, and then swoop, you come back to form. Go ahead.
So, First Foundation, it seems that more of your kind are up ahead. They don't seem dangerous necessarily, but I mean, I'm not as familiar with your people.
Our purpose is to collect materials for the
It
construction.
seemed like they were hard at work doing so. They had quite a few materials, actually.
Could you decipher what they were harvesting?
Ela would then relay like basically what she saw that you described. Ty.
Timbers and stone primarily.
Stones. Mhm.
If you think it useful, we could stop to speak with them, but if we know the way, perhaps not disturbing their work would be prudent.
Don't want to
Don't-
stop and talk with any of your, your family?
That's what I was thinking too.
They are not First Foundation's family as much as workers.
While,
Th-
sorry.
They may have information for us.
Okay.
While they're all having this conversation, I want Tosh to just kind of like super focus, and I want them to manifest scrying on the group of them. And what Tosh really wants to try to do is listen in and try to find if there's any malice, if anyone's being rough about it, everyone's screaming, anyone's yelling, is there any arguments? And they just kind of want to do that while they're all having their conversation.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a called roll mystery.
3 and 4.
Nice. All right. So let's see, you are, yeah. So knowing the direction and the location over there, you just open up a bit of a window from where you're at. And it's odd. You can hear the sound of the industry and the labor, but they don't speak. They're not having conversation. They just move, and they seem to be to an individual evaluating the material as they come across it, and some they look at and assess and throw away, and some they keep and they move to the wagon, and otherwise there's just like a rhythm to what they're doing.
And Tosh will start speaking out that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mindless work.
I would assume that Foundation would know that rhythm as you start counting it out. It makes sense to him.
Yeah, Tosh will kind of look up to First Foundation and say, if they are family, you are a distant relative.
I am far. This one has traveled a great distance, as have they. They have a great distance yet to travel, as do I.
Where are they taking the material that they are collecting?
They will take the material to the tower.
The tower?
Which tower?
The tower. Do you not know of the tower?
I was just about to ask, is the tower common knowledge amongst
Yeah.
the world?
Would we know this?
Why don't the three of you give me a called roll lore?
Oh, bloody.
Yeah, whoever has that.
Are you giving us that? Okay.
I already know that I rolled too many 4s. I'm probably gonna roll.
Is that 1 die or 2 die if we don't have it checked?
Called rolls are always 2 dice because they're a roll that I'm giving you as the seer to determine. It's a mundane action, so no for Tosh.
1, 4, and a 1. 4 and 1.
Yay.
Okay. And Ela, are you trying or not?
I rolled 2 1s.
Okay. On a cold roll, that doesn't hurt you.
You don't know nothing.
I know
You ain't never heard of it.
nothing.
What is a tower?
So
Literally, that's what she's asking. What is a tower? What is it?
So for Ode, you know about this because it's materials, right? It's a form of construction, and you know construction because stone and sand and lava and rock and all this kind of stuff. But the Wotan, they use refined materials, or they refine the materials that you just use naturally, right? And in your recollection, and who knows where you remember this from, you are aware that there is this tower for the Wotan culture that is their be-all reason for existing. It is an iconic cultural landmark. It's always under construction, and it's far north of here, but it's there, and it's massive, and it's always growing, and they're always working on it.
Oh, right. The tower. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep, I remember now. It was, previous life. I think I saw it maybe in the distance, or that maybe where I heard about it, or somebody told me about it. I can't quite remember.
Ty, does it seem like these Wotan are farther than might be expected from the tower? Because I know that, like, geographically we're very far to the south. Have the Wotans kind of spread across the continent pretty extensively?
In 100 years, all the cultures have spread out, and so not no one, but while there are still central hubs from the point of emergence, in time they gradually commingled, they spread out. It's such a massive environment that this is one really good reason why a Wotan becomes an explorer, to go out further and find more material and caches of material, and because it's literally a point of honor within the culture to make those discoveries and to do that work.
It is clear that these ones will continue their work, as we always have, to contribute and build. You speak of family, Tosh. It is different with the Wotan. We are less related as you might describe as family, and more related as one purpose: to build. I have had that purpose as well, and I know the drive that these Wotan have. It is not mindless work, it is mindful in a different way, almost completely mindful, with one collective purpose: to build. You almost get a sense that First Foundation has a bit of like a maudlin cadence as he tells this to you.
Well, if all it takes is a purpose to have a family, then we're all family right now. So, because we're all together on a purpose.
You can definitely choose your family. I mean, I come from a generational family, so we're quite large and quite big, as I mentioned. And we all come together for different purposes, if it's for hunt or to build the homes, to take care of one another, protect one another from harm. I feel like your people do something similar, just maybe a different way of doing things. Going about it, I should say.
Perhaps. I must consider these wise words, Ela.
Well, actually, I think Ode was the one with the wise words, which I didn't expect. That was actually quite surprising.
Sorry.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just very interesting, your way of thinking sometimes. But what you said probably made the most sense. Oftentimes, a lot of the things that you say actually confused me. But
Fair.
what you just said made sense. So I'm sorry for not understanding prior.
It's okay. So they're harvesting rock, right?
It appears so.
Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to not let me be harvested.
No, what they were collecting is very different from you. So it doesn't seem like they're collecting your people. So I don't think we have anything to
Well,
worry about.
I mean, I'm kind of a special rock.
I get the sense, Ode, that while you may not be the type of raw material that we use to build the tower, your insights into the manipulation of that material could be quite helpful. Perhaps
Oh.
one day we will travel together to the tower and provide purpose.
Oh, I like being helpful.
I want to see how tall this tower is.
It is quite tall.
Yeah,
How
you can
tall
see it
is
from
tall? Because I'm
a long
pretty
way
tall.
off.
It is much taller than you, Ela, although you are quite tall indeed. It is
Wanna point
much,
out that-
much taller than you, Tosh, and much, much, much taller than Ode.
Everything's taller than me.
I just
That's a
want to point
point.
out that Tosh has been mumbling 1, 2, 3, 4 this entire conversation.
I don't know why I think that Ela at this point is kind of used to Tosh doing things that doesn't always make a lot of sense. I think
Remember,
she's getting used to it.
Tosh just kind of showed up at this group one day, like, just popped up. So you would notice that Tosh does small things like this all the time. They don't mean to be disruptive. They're learning.
Well, you would get along with my little cousin Alnek. He loves to count all the time. So then maybe when we come back, if we come back to these parts, you guys can get together and count all the holes.
That would take a very long time.
Well, you just choose one section and then you can count them in one area. I can even dig them and then you can find them and then count them. I used to do something similar. It was more like a kind of a course that they would have to like jump over rocks that I moved and placed in certain places, and doing different using rope to kind of where they had to hop over or crawl under. You know, it was really fun. At least I mean, maybe not for this group, but they enjoyed it. It kept them busy and out of trouble.
Busy is good.
Not being in trouble is good.
Do we talk to the automatons or do we continue?
We should probably leave them to their work. At least it seems that First Foundation is saying that we probably should do that.
With that, Tosh takes out the Navi lens again, just kind of peers at it, and starts walking in the direction.
Give me a called roll lore at decreased difficulty.
Heck yeah, I'll take that. Whew, I needed it. 3.
Okay, you got it. Yep. All right. You line it up. You point it. You head off. All right. Let's. We are at the halfway point. So perhaps now that our characters have had a little bit more chance to interact and get to know each other, and to see the land unfold in front of them, along with our audience, we can take a quick break here and then come back and see where this actually leads us. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Woo!
Thanks, everybody. We will be back in just a few short minutes.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming back to Nuovarden. We have just spent the last little bit traveling, getting to know each other, traveling out of the range camp, moving towards the township of Oxalo Akaln, the land of dark return. And the group just came across another group of First Foundations people who were doing some material collecting in an old small village ruin, and are at this point moving away, not disturbing them further on their journey. Is that correct, group? You decided not to engage. That was after, right, not to disrupt after Ela formed into a Korskatan, which is a bird of prey with leathery wings and a hawk-like face and talons, and just did a flyby to see what was there and made that determination. In the process, however, the various group did learn a little bit more about each other through First Foundation in particular, and First Foundation sharing the unique nature of their culture as it differs from the other cultures. Ode made some reflection on what family means, backed up by Ela, as this group is a form of family, and Tosh and First Foundation contemplated that concept, but it seems to be one that will be slow in developing in their minds at this point. Nonetheless, they press on. Tosh used the Navi lens, which is a kind of crystal device that uses the reflection from the sky crystal and the geography to estimate distances and directions to determine that they are on track as they continue moving towards the township of Oxalo. Very, very good. So you move on, leaving this ruin and the industrious party of Wotan to their task, probably keeping the same distance away. So at that range, you can still make out their activity and their forms as they move and whatnot, but you don't pick up on a whole lot of detail, which is neither here nor there as you proceed northward on if we look at the map, on a northeasterly transit about this point. So you're close to halfway to your destination. The sky crystal still radiates, and there is no sign of weather. I will make a comment about weather. The sky, as I mentioned before, is standard amber. There aren't clouds, there aren't stars at night, there's no moon, there's not that sort of celestial apparatus that surrounds this area. It is a light in the sky, referred to as a sky crystal. However, there are on rare occasions weather patterns, and they color the sky differently. And whenever you see the differentiation of coloration in the sky, you know something is about to happen. So fortunately, it doesn't happen often. Most weather patterns, however, most changes in weather are not super great. Some of them are very beneficial. Some of them are very hazardous. So every day that there's no weather is a good day. Every day in San Diego is a nice day in San Diego.
Nice.
So onward you continue. Satisfied with your investigation, you head on for about another hour or so further. And remember, now you're still in this wide plain, this massive grass-covered plain. And when I say grass-covered, we're not talking just about yellow and green grasses. The grasses here, the most favorable grasses, in fact, are purple and blue, and they're like thick-stalked asparagus. They're very nutritious. It's what the gore graze on, but they're also they're consumable by all, and they're a very common food source among other plant types. So what you've got is a variation of green, yellows, blues, purples, in the terrain as you go. But as I said, you move on about another hour past where you saw the Wotan, and
You said it's edible. The name of it again?
it's the grass.
It's just okay.
It's
It's not
the-
a particular type.
It doesn't have a specific name. It's the most common grass type.
Is there a season to it, and is it ripe currently?
There are no seasons. There are no seasons in Nuovarden.
Because Ela would definitely take it for later. So like if at the camp, because she's gonna cook.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure she does not know whether or not. Well, some of our members may not need as much as she needs, but she's gonna take some of that for nutritional value.
She needs the
Well, and
calories.
It's fresh. It's
fresh.
fresh compared to your rations, right? Which are all dried.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
would
she's gonna
expect we'd
probably use
harvest.
her, like if she needs to, like use her spear to kind of cut some of it and like kind of like little
Yeah.
stalks of it.
Why don't you give me a called roll? This will be lore, but you don't have it, and we'll see just how much you're able to actually collect for the day.
Oh, 4 and a 2 again.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Actually,
I like
that's
this die.
yeah, that's enough to feed everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
First
a meal.
Foundation will see her doing this and follow suit and attempt to harvest as well.
Go ahead and roll. Let's see how well you do.
2 4s.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
He's,
We're gonna have all
if
the
he's
grass.
anything, he might not have much of a personality, but he's a good worker.
Nice.
He's a joiner for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So between the two of you, you collect enough for 10 meals. So that's enough for all of you for 2 days.
Nice. Okay. Right on. Yeah, she's gonna put that in her
Yes.
her satchel.
Also, that means that collectively you have 5 value if you were to trade it.
Ooh.
No.
We now have value, guys. We did
Now,
it.
question:
It's about time.
does Ela see any of the gore grazing on the plane?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because what you do end up noticing as you're doing this little bit of harvesting, you know what? I think, real quick, First Foundation found something else among the grass as well.
This is
That's
curious.
funny, ha ha, or funny dodge.
Funny as in run.
Run!
I'll tell you what, First Foundation, give me a 3d4 roll and tell me the total, please.
Gladly.
3d4?
Yeah.
6 total.
6. There are among the grasses, of course, it's not just ground, right? There are some rocks, some small rocks and boulders interspersed. And as you're harvesting, you come across one of these small boulders, and there is a black lichen growing on the rock as well. It stands out enough among the grasses. Give me a second lore roll.
Okay. 4 and a 2.
Okay. Yeah, this is another food item, another plant that is consumable.
Were you thinking lycanthrope?
Look, did
Yeah.
you see Ella's face when he said like it? We're like, what?
A what? A
Yeah.
what?
We're all werewolves now.
Oh, not a lycanthrope. Lichen.
Different game.
Oh man.
Lichen.
God.
I'm not
Lichen.
gonna lie,
can't
I
say
did for a second. I was like,
Yeah, everyone's face. Anyway, we have more food. Good.
fantastic. Yeah.
The thing about this is that it is medicinal.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm
It's
aware of
called-
the property.
You know that it's a medicinal plant.
Okay.
You can go so far as to know that it's referred to as black smudge.
Sounds amazing. There is, look at this. Curious. Black smudge growing amongst the grass. This is
Oh.
quite valuable. He collects it.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sure what it does, but it does have some sort of restorative. Not only that, but in their raw forms, all these plants, someone who is skilled with crafting can make them into other things as well. Either a more potent kind of tincture or something. But it does take some skill. And in some cases, there's a crafting kit that you can buy, which actually makes it less difficult. So
Do you have to
again,
discover? Do you have to like discover the recipes or the formulas to be able to do that?
Straight mechanic, what you would do is you would make a lore roll, and to design. And if you succeed on your design, then you would make a crafting check to determine the degree of success. And of course, it's lore based. Actually, the lore part is for the design, and then there's a technology based crafting roll.
So that I imagine if you were working as a team with crafters from different cultures, you might do well to succeed.
There's that. There are also designs that you can purchase that are pre-made, and then you only have to make the technology roll. And you could also become, as you evolve, you could be one of those who evolves to have both of those disciplines and then just do it yourself.
Very cool.
So you have a little black smudge, and you have plenty of food, and you have some value. The value actually of the black smudge, you don't know exactly what it's worth, but because it's got a restorative aspect to it, it's more valuable than the grasses. And I will mention also that you all have value on you already, because everything that you own has a value, a degree of value to it. So if you were in a pinch and you needed to trade something for something else, you have things that you can trade. You may not want to, but you do have them. Okay. But while you're harvesting that stuff, Ayla looks around for gore herds and has not seen any here so far, but your eyes do fall on a shape in the distance, probably about 50 yards in the grass, that looks like a gore form. It's not standing, so it looks like it's lying down, but it doesn't look like it's just it's one shape. And again, this is like 10-foot tall hunk of bovine, right? That appears to be dead in the grass about 50 yards away.
Okay. She'll turn to the group. Stay here. I think I see something. And then she's going to very carefully, because she is barefoot, so she's able to kind of like try to make sure that her foot placement doesn't disturb, obviously, like if it isn't dead, trying to approach, but very, very carefully, almost like going into her hunter mode
So you want
try to see.
You want to sneak. Go ahead and give me a called roll body.
I swear, a 4 and a 2 again.
Okay.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. So you're going into hunter mode, and so you move up on it. How close do you want to get?
I want to get at least within, I believe it's like 14 feet.
14 feet. Okay. What's your question? I see a question there.
No. That was there was a creature on my end who decided to make a yelping noise. I muted.
Oh, okay. So 14 feet is just your estimate for distance. Okay. All right. No worries. Okay. So yeah, you cover that distance and you creep up there, and as you get closer, there's also a tree. There's one of those lone. They dot here and there. There is a tree nearby as well.
Okay.
You get about 14 feet and you can smell it. There's some decay. So it's been dead for some time.
Okay.
However, its back is kind of to you, so if it's been injured or whatever, it's not on this side of the animal, and since it's so large, obviously you can't see the whole thing, but clearly it's dead. You can smell it. It's not moving, and it's the only one.
Okay. I think Ela might try to see if she can figure out if it died of like what the situation is to kind of determine whether or not there was a larger creature that took care of this creature, because that would then be a sign of potential danger. So
Okay.
and I feel like she would know, like, from being out and hunting different various animals, like if they're kind of whether or not this was a normal death, like, or maybe like it was just sick versus it being attacked.
Good. Okay. So you want to close the distance to it? Investigate.
Yeah, just to investigate whether or not this was another animal that attacked it.
Give me another called roll body at increased difficulty.
Okay. Okay, I can use one of the favor points, right?
Oh, yeah.
To reroll?
Yeah.
Okay. That was 2 2s.
2 2s. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you scope out things a little bit more, and then you close the distance to it. As you round the form, there's a coruscant right there on the ground feeding on it. And when you come around,
Oh boy.
it sees you, and it launches up onto the gore. So it overhead, it jumps up on the body. The rest of you now can see is suddenly this bird that was the same creature that Ela had changed into. And actually, for that matter, you may not know if it's her or not. You may not know whether it's her. I'm thinking you didn't completely disappear around the side. It jumps up on the form, and it keeps its wings expanded. And we're going to go ahead and roll for or determine our combat order.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Ela's a bird again.
How far away are we from this?
Oh God.
Oh gosh, you're like 150 feet.
Oh, bye.
All right.
Oh, good. Good.
She'll be fine.
I mean, it's either way, we were probably going to run into this thing, so it's better that I'm at the front.
Well, what's awesome is you did such a good job creeping up on it that it didn't know you were there, and then
and then the other roll was like,
you surprised it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it surprised you.
That's fair.
Okay, so here's how this works. Each of you get to negotiate between you who's going to go 1 through 4. I will roll for the creatures to determine where they fall. And then on a tie in that turn order, whoever's in that turn order gets to go before the creature, then the creature goes before the next turn order. So I'm going to say in this instance, Ela, you're going to be number 1 because you're already right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
the rest of you, who's 2, 3, and 4?
I'll go second.
Okay.
I'll say 4. I'll bring up the rear.
Got it. All right, so that puts First Foundation at 3rd. Now, you're 150 feet away. Manifestations can reach to 128 feet. So you're just a little bit outside of that range, but that's a difference of 22 feet. So you've got a movement scale of 32 feet. So moving forward would put you within manifestation range. It will not put you within range of ranged weapons, thrown weapons, or melee.
Okay.
Ranged weapons are 64 feet, thrown weapons are 32 feet. And melee obviously is within 4 feet. Okay, so first, let me see how our bird fell. Oh, geez. I rolled so terrible for my creatures. Okay, Ela, you are first.
Okay. It basically, I just want to make sure when, because she would know the difference. in that particular position that it took, that is like a I'm gonna attack you position, correct?
Coruscantants are already predatory. They are territorial, and they're super territorial around a kill.
Okay, yeah, just as long as making that clear, because Ela does respect other creatures and nature in general. That's just like kind of her people, her way. So, and knowing that, and knowing it's like her against this thing, she's gonna whip her her spear from her back, and she's, because of the fact that she's probably now, like, because it's really close to where she's at. She's still like basically that 14 feet, right?
Well, yeah. So basically, it's like, I mean, you're 7 feet tall, and it's 10 feet up. So you're within 4 feet for sure. I mean, with the spear.
Yeah, she's going to basically, in that, because it would determine whether or not she was going to throw it or if she was going to actually use a thrust motion. So she's going to instead, when she pulls it out, she's going to swing that around to the front, and she's going to try to thrust it in its chest.
Okay, so here's how this works. You have 2 dice in your dice cache. You can make 2 1-die actions or 1 2-die action. Or you can do 1 1-die action and hold a die, because we have the assist roll feature as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to do the 1.
Okay.
Yes, 4.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So you just step forward and you thrust the spear into the bird,
Yes.
up into its stomach, the main part of the abdomen area, or I don't know if a bird has an abdomen, but you stab it up in there. That is a D4 damage die.
Okay. That was a 3 that I rolled on that die.
Nice. Okay. So make a note on that. All right. Yeah, you slam the spear into it and pierce into the breast. It flaps its wings and screeches out at you.
I will say that she does rip it, like basically after the thrust, she does rip it back out in that motion to try to basically, in that pull motion, to basically slice it open further to cause more damage. But that's what it is. Like, that's the equivalent of that 3 damage.
That whole 3 damage, yeah.
Yeah.
And ripped it back out, yeah. And fillets a bit through the feather and meat.
Yeah, to take that defensive, position.
You got it. Now, you speak of a defensive position. Let me give you a couple of options with your second action, or your second action die. You can hold on to it. Mm-hmm. You can use it to roll what's called a prepared action or respond action, which means that if you want to actually brace, if you can roll another 4, then that creature attacking you attacks you at an increased difficulty scale.
Okay. I'm going to go for that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that was a 2 for that one.
Okay, so not enough. So you try to set your footing and prepare to be defensive, but you're like stepping on the hoof of the gore, and you're like, and it just doesn't quite settle for you. You could move if you wanted to. You've got probably, you got your 32 feet, or you can stay put.
I think that she's going to stay put because she knows that if she tries to move towards the group, then the group might become the next target. So she wants to try to make sure that its back remains to the group, and she's basically focused directly on the Coruscant.
All right. I'm going to move us over to a battle map now to make it a little bit easier. I feel like the theater of mind was working all right, but let's do this. So if you each want to drag your tokens onto the map, we will put, let's put everybody at the far upper edge except for Ela, who is going to be probably down here somewhere. First foundation, if you'll put yourself up at the top order. Okay, let's see. 4, 8, 12.
Up in the corner there?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll call that good for full distance.
I got one. All right.
Nice.
Am I the only one that doesn't know how to do this token?
If you go under the characters, the newspaper looking thing, and go to your name.
There we go.
And click and drag.
Wait, did it not work? Nope. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Did I do it? There we go.
There you go. Yeah, and then you get to be all the way down here.
So I'm all the way here, right here.
Down there.
Down here.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, there we go.
We did it.
All right, you got it. Okay, so Ela, you are done, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That takes us then to Ode.
All right. Can you describe where is this beast? Not
The
the
bird?
dead one, the bird.
The bird is on top of the carcass.
Okay. And where is my good friend Ela? in
Down
relation to
basically
this?
at the head of the carcass.
Okay, but okay. So
Probably a little bit more like right there.
okay. I would like to encompass actually so each of these squares is how much space?
4
'Cause
feet.
I'm a magic user, so I'm just
Yeah.
you know.
So 4 feet.
4 feet.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would like to encompass the bird and part of the dead carrion in water, just changing the air to water.
Okay. So now since you're changing the element that's actually at an increased difficulty scale, you're the only one that can do it, but it is a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
So what that means is you need to roll a 4 and change it to a 5.
Oh. Okay.
It will cost you primacy to do that. So hold up, before you roll, let me ask you a question. Are you doing 1 die or 2? Because you've got the limit.
2.
2. All right, go for it.
No.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got 2 1s.
2 1s. Okay, so 2 1s, that is a straight miss, but it does
You do
not.
have reroll. You have reroll.
That's
Yeah,
true.
maybe I should try one of those.
Fortune's favor, yeah.
Fortune's favor.
All right.
Still
Thank
a
you,
1.
Oh. Wait, was it
3
2 1s?
I have 2 1s.
That's funny. Okay, so here's the thing. Since you were doing an element thing, you do have other options in spending your primacy. Because you rolled the 2 1s, you can spend 2 primacy points to re-roll one of those dice. We're not counting Fortune's favor as a limit on this. Or you can spend 4 primacy to re-roll the whole thing one more time. However, that's pretty expensive at your level.
Yeah.
And you'd
Okay.
still have to have a primacy to change it to a 5. So that would be pretty expensive.
Yeah. Okay. What was the moderate one? I can use 1 primacy to change 1. Reroll
You can
1.
use you can spend 2 primacy to re-roll
primacy,
one of the dice.
Reroll 1.
And
I will try that.
before you make that decision, since everybody's still learning, if Tosh or First Foundation want to throw in on the roll you just made, you could still get a success off of their roll. And whichever one of you does that gets your die back at the start of your turn, because that's when your dice replenish.
Is
Oh,
that
you
an
can take mine
assist
then.
roll? That's the assist.
The assist, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm too far away for an assist for something like that.
That and you spent both your dice.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Tosh, were you helping?
Yeah, I'm helping.
Roll a d4, please.
3.
No, actually, Tosh is rolling it.
Oh, okay.
That's a 3 and a 1.
No, only roll 1 die for me. On an assist, it's only 1 die.
Oh. The 3.
3. Okay. All right. So what that results in is no go. There was an effort made there. There's no go. So you start to try to form the water, and it's like Eli can probably feel little like bubble pops in the air, but nothing is materializing. Like you can almost see it, Ode, but it's not. Maybe you're too far away or something. It's just not coming together. Do you want to move?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move up
You have 8 squares max, and second diagonal, after the first diagonal, it's double. So make sure you count your squares.
Oh.
That's pretty close. You can get technically to there, but yeah.
Okay. You said here?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So that's it for Ode. That takes us to First Foundation.
This one will move within manifestation distance, first of all.
Okay, so that's what do we say? That's 22 feet. Well, actually, you're closer than that now. So I think you're good, pretty much from where you're at.
So
right?
Still getting used to this, the Wotan. What I would like to do is I would like to manifest a temporary item, such as manacles or a chain or some sort of something that will kind of like press down on the winged creature to.
How about a net?
A net would be great. Something that would basically invoke a status effect of immobilization.
Yep. Okay. Yes. So what you want to do then is you want to try to, if all you have to do is succeed on manifesting that item on top of the creature, and then it does get to make a challenge roll against it. But if it does not succeed and you do, it will be immobilized for the next turn and a half.
Okay. And I'm going to use both of my action dice on this one.
Okay.
And I have, depending on what I roll, I have the option to use primacy to bump it up a point if I need to.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Manifesting a net. I got a 3 and a 1, but I will use primacy to bump it up to a 4.
You got it. All right. So as you do that, this net appears suddenly. Eli, you see this weighted net just whomp right on top of the creature. Let's see what the creature does. So a challenge roll is a single die. I can use primacy if the creature has it in the discipline associated with it, which in this case would be body, because it's trying to prevent from being restrained, immobilized. I rolled a 1, so no go. The creature is immobilized. Nice. Okay. Bam. Okay, so that net will last now until the end of your next turn, First Foundation.
Nice.
Did you want to move?
Yeah, maximum movement towards Ela.
I can put you somewhere around here. And that takes us to Tosh.
Tosh, looking at all of his friends try to help, is going to. It's going to try to move up as far as possible. So, does that mean I can get up to where Ode is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, probably in that area.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if this is allowed, but I want to manifest an energy shield around Ella.
Yes, that would be within your purview. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So you try to manifest an energy shield for protection, and are you going to roll 1 or 2 dice?
I'm going to roll all 2 because
right.
I have them both. And that's 4 and a 1. Woo!
Okay, nice.
So you just see Tosh roll up through it, and Ella, you should feel like a cold, a really bitter cold, like the absence of heat surround you for a hot second, and then Tosh just kind of turns it over so it's not as uncomfortable. It just bubbles forms around you.
So Ela, you have an additional armor factor for the next through the end of Tosh's next turn, unless it takes damage.
Okay, perfect.
And you already have 1 armor factor. Yeah.
Yes, just a question about this particular. So, if I use a weapon, I would puncture said shield. So.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's okay if I do, and if I were to do anything.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Okay.
You're not attacking the shield that's around you.
Okay.
Okay, is that it for Tosh?
That'll be it.
It's my turn.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this bird is under the net, and it is not happy. It's hissing and squirming and trying to rip through the net. So I am going to use a respond action to mobilize. And how many dice do I have? Monsters in Nuovarden get to use their dice a little bit differently, but I only have 2. So I'm going to make one roll for this bird to try and get out. And that's double 3s, which I'm going to spend a primacy to bump to a 4. So
Damn
the
it.
bird is actually able to fight against this net, and with its talons and its beak, it pulls apart and it rips through to free itself. At which point, the only thing that it can do now is to move into the air. So it launches up about 16 feet. I'm going to move it. I'll put it over the gore, and I'm going to put 16 in the little bubble up there so I can see it. And as it does that, second one launches out of this tree that you had not seen and swoops down at Ila. Ila, you hear a familiar screech from behind you as a second Corsican comes swooping down at you with its talons bared. Now, the thing about these creatures that you know is that they have a poisonous talon in their claws. When you change into that form, it's not something that you actually have access to, but these creatures naturally have it. And as it swoops at you, that is a high failure, which means you can turn around and swing once at it. So you get to roll 2d4.
Okay.
And tell me what the result is.
All right, here we go. Ooh, okay, 4 to 2.
4 to 2. Okay. So what happens is you actually clip it with your spear
Yes.
and do 1 damage to it.
Yes.
Nice.
Not today.
And that is my turn. So now we're back to you. Ila, it's your turn, and your dice cache refill.
So did that one, is it still like near me, or did it swoop away?
It just came down and struck at you, so it's in the process of leaving. I'm going to say no, it didn't. It has not moved out of your reach.
Okay. So it's still the closest to me. So the other one, even though it's like further away, this is the immediate danger.
Yeah.
If that's the case, okay. She's going to try to still strike at this thing. Since she already came down, she'll bring it around to basically around her head to end up thrusting. Since she had swiped across, that's just so then that way she can have it right back where she needs it for the thrust.
Okay. And are you going to do a 1 die or 2 die attack?
This one is she's gonna go for 2.
Okay. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, that is a 2 and a 1.
Ooh, that is a high failure. However, A, somebody else can do an assist roll, or B, you can change the 1 to a 2 and get recovery.
I'll do an assist if you're interested in an assist.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to? Well, actually, go ahead. Go ahead with your assist roll. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 3.
Okay.
I can't use primacy, can I? On an
No,
assist?
you cannot.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot. What that means is, so Eli, you can use primacy to change the 1 to a 2 and get recovery. Now, recovery will allow you to increase your armor factor again. Mm-hmm. It will allow you to recover an injury point. It will allow you to recover a primacy point, or it will allow you to remove a status effect if you are under one.
Okay. And I'm not currently under a status, so I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my primacy to bring me down to a 3 in order to basically to recover.
Okay, so you want to recover that primacy back? You spend one to get it back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you ultimately don't lose it.
Okay.
And that is your turn unless you want to move.
For this one, I will definitely let me take a look at the map here. I need to be slightly further back, just so then that way I'm not as close.
Okay. You have up to 8 squares.
So that way I can kind of be in the middle, so then I can kind of have
your options.
My options open. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. You got it. Ode.
Okay. Are any of these creatures close to the ground?
Like close, I would say that one that just attacked Ela is probably about 8 feet.
Okay. I only get 8 feet of manipulation.
Unless you roll doubles. Unless you roll high success, and then it increases your range to 12.
Okay. That's true, but I rolled 2 1s last turn, so it's how about can I do like a tornado?
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be changing one element to another, just be like making air fast.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So what is your goal? Is your goal to move the creature?
Yeah, and also just to like mess them up a little bit because, like flying creatures and storms don't like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you basically want to you're kind of grappling it, right? You want to wrap it with this storm thing. Okay, let's see how that goes. It will get a challenge roll, but let's see how you do first. You rolling 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
No, I got a 2 and a 3.
You can bump the 3 to a 4 if you want to.
I will.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you form. Let's do this. Up to an 8-foot cyclone. That's
Yeah,
8.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
cool.
I'm going to grab it in an 8-foot cyclone, the one
It's a
closest.
big cyclone.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, why not?
You don't have to go the full 8 feet. You can just do the 4 feet that it's in and go 8 feet high, which is just enough to reach it.
Yeah, I want to suck it in.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if it can escape this thing. No, it cannot. All right.
Whoa.
So you have control of it for the moment. It is restrained, or it is wrestled.
Sure.
And you could move it if you wanted to. You could move it 16 feet.
I don't know that anywhere I would move it would be better than where it is.
Okay.
So I'll just
All right.
continue
So this
whirling it
cyclone
about.
sucks the bird in, and it's like, wow, and not going anywhere. Nice call. Is that it for you?
Yes.
All right. First foundation.
So as this flying creature is affected by the cyclone, which is super cool, by the way, is it? Can I hit it? Like, am I within range of my crossbow, or can I get within range? Because I'd like to pop it.
Let's see. So that would be 64 feet with your crossbow. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are currently 68 feet, which means you could definitely step up, or you could also target that one. But you wanted to go after the.
Well, if I feel like the one that's in the cyclone is it easier to hit because it's grappled, or
Yeah,
I don't know what
actually,
the name of the
It's wrestled. Yeah.
wrestled. Okay.
It's immobilized. So because it's immobilized, you actually do get a decreased difficulty scale. So yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
that is a good point. But you do have to move up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll move up full movement. Wherever that gets me. Let's see if I can get to like about here. Yeah, like right there. And I'm gonna fire at the one that's in the cyclone.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess, yeah, so I'll just raise my crossbow and fire at it.
Interestingly enough,
Uh-oh.
let's put you here. The gore is 10 feet tall.
Okay.
And it's 8 feet off the ground. So I would give it partial cover if not. Which would reduce that, which would change that difficulty scale back to normal.
Yeah, I would definitely want to avoid that.
Okay.
I want to take a good shot. So if I need to be back here, I would do that.
Yeah, I think you were good there. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I will take the shot.
One or two.
What I have to decide is whether or not I want to roll 2 action dice or 1.
Right.
And because my temporary manifestation from before ends at the end of this turn, it's not effective anyways. I could create a new one to replace it.
Or you could try to maintain it.
But right now it's nowhere. It's just kind of laying on the ground, isn't it? The net.
You talking about the shield?
No, the net. Shield. No,
the net.
That was it broke free of the net. Yeah.
It broke free of the net. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll empower one of the bolts.
So you actually already have the decreased difficulty scale, so the enhancement wouldn't do anything for you.
All right, so then I'm just going to shoot and use both action dice to maximize my probability of success. Okay, sounds good.
You got it.
Yep, here we go. Come on, 4s. I got a 3 and a 1, but I'm going to go ahead and use primacy to bump it to
The 3 hits because it's a decreased difficulty scale.
Perfect. All right. Well, there we go.
All right.
I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, you got it. So roll a d4 of damage.
That's a 2.
Nice. Okay. The bolt goes into the cyclone and feathers come flying out of the cyclone and then waft down to the ground. That bird's not having a great time at the moment. And is that it for you?
Yep, I believe it is.
All right, Tosh. So your energy shield will disappear at the end of this turn if you don't maintain it.
Yeah, remind me, is Ella in current danger?
No.
No, okay. Bloody heck. Tosh is simply going to work with me here. This is a little far-fetched.
All right.
Tosh wants to remove the light out of the large beast eyes by manifesting voids in their face to kind of make them go blind.
Okay, yeah. You want to, yeah, so that's a status effect of bereft.
Bereft. I'll put that word.
So you're not actually manipulating the light, you're actually forming a void hood, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the creature does get a challenge roll, but first of all, are you going to do 1 or 2 dice on that?
2, because I'm going to need it.
All right.
They're both 3s. Privacy!
Okay. So you can change one of the 3s to a 4, and this void begins to form over. And which one is it on?
The large beast.
Well, this one's dead.
Oh, it's dead?
Yeah. That's a yeah. Carcass.
Then that's sorry. I thought I was alive.
That's a tasty rotting gore that is lured
yeah,
our bird friends.
I'm back. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna do the one the closest to Ella, toward the furthest away from us.
The one in the cyclone?
Yeah.
All right, let me see if this creature can avoid the void.
No one can avoid the void.
That is a 2. It will not. So this one. And you roll both dice on that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put a hood over the dude, and Yeah, so now the creature is bereft. It cannot take any actions that rely on sight, and attacks against it are again at a decreased difficulty scale, which is already under because it's being held in the cyclone. Is that it for Tosh, or are you going to move?
Tosh is going to move closer to the crew, right behind First Foundation.
Okay, and with that, the shield falls away from Ela.
Yes.
And it is my turn. Okay, so first of all, this one is going to attack Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. So I'll just randomize that. It turns to Ela. Swoops down at you.
Bring it.
Wait, is he out of the cyclone?
It's this
No,
one.
this the other one.
Oh, okay.
The one closest to us.
Oh, geez, that's double fours.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yo.
Maybe don't bring it that hard. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding.
So Ela, as it comes screeching down
That's fair.
like the Judas Priest eagle off of screaming for vengeance. Oh, but he only does. Let me see what the. Let me see these. I double check my monster block. They do not have a.
Do you have an armor factor?
I
Ela?
do.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's not
creatures-
crazy high, but it's something. It's something.
All right, let's see. Of course, gets chance to attack with the talons / tear, standard success, da da da. Okay, here we go. I did 3 damage. What is your armor factor?
1.
It's 2, isn't it? Oh no,
No,
'cause you
no,
used-
because of the fact that it went down when Tosh did the
Okay.
the void.
Your pauldron cracks, but it deflects the first foot as the talon comes in, but that second one gets through and rakes down your arm.
Okay.
Not only does the talon scratch you for 2 points,
Okay.
that third talon injects you with a poison.
Okay. So this is a poisoned effect.
It is, and it is a paralyzing poison. However, you can attempt.
The
No,
respond
you
action.
cannot. Nope, because it's a high success.
Oh, I can't use my status effect. Okay, gotcha.
Um,
That's fair.
yeah. What happens instead is you become paralyzed from this venom,
Okay.
and you are immobilized. Oh, you are immobilized for 4 rounds.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is not good. Okay. never
Welcome
mind.
to the game.
I hope you've got a big family of NPCs that you can use.
No, the thing is that Ela does not go down that fast. So the thing is that she knew where to put. She's the meat shield. So technically, that too didn't really affect much. So
Not much.
That's
She
good.
was
can't
the meat
move.
shield.
no, she still is because if it continues attacking,
That's
I
right.
still have health. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Fair.
It'll
The
be a
other
thing is-
distraction.
You can use one of your actions to do that respond, to try to use your body to force that venom out. But it will take one of your actions on your turn, which
yeah.
is not right now.
Not right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the other one.
Yeah. So otherwise, this paralysis will last. If it lasts the full duration, it'll be to the end of the creature's next 4 turns.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Yeah. So meanwhile, the other one. Where's my map? The other one's in this whirligig. So it is going to try and respond.
Wait, so it's got a void on its head and it's in the.
Whirligig. Yeah, it's a bad
Whirligig.
day.
Yeah. And
It's in a
because,
space tornado.
Real bad.
and because
It's
it's
way worse than a regular tornado.
Can birds
is gonna-
vomit?
I wondered about
they
that.
do
I was
actually.
thinking that.
Owls can.
Baby?
That's how they feed their babies.
Oh yeah.
However,
Science.
this is going to be at an increased difficulty scale because of the it's blinded in addition to being wrestled. So it means I have to roll a 4 and then primacy it to a 5.
Oh wow.
I did. I rolled a 4. Oh.
No. No.
So it goes.
I don't like these days.
No.
Deadly.
Oh man, what's that? It's also a 4. It goes zipping out this way, like blindly flying. It does break free of the cyclone, but it still has that void hood on it until at least the end of Tasha's next turn, which means it cannot do much. And that takes us back to Ela, who is.
I'm going to respond action and try to get out of this status.
You can use 1 or 2 dice.
Definitely using 2.
Okay.
I need all the luck. I need all the luck. I got a 4 and a 1.
That'll do it. All right. So as you lock up, you just will that poison through, like your body overwhelms it and fights it out of your system, and you restore your mobility, which is all you have left of this round.
Yep.
Do you want to move, or are you good where you're at?
I again am going to try to make, because I don't like being, I like having a good middle ground for vantage.
Sure.
reasons.
Okay.
So I'm
Sounds
gonna try
good.
to, well, however much I can move to kind of be in the center. I guess like right there. I guess. Wait, no, I moved not center, but I think you get the gist.
Yeah. All good. Okay. Perfect. All right. Ode.
Okay. Now to maintain a thing like this cyclone, do I only have to roll a 4,
Mhm.
or should I just try to? You know what? Since it's the same, no matter what, I will just try to. I'll let this cyclone go, and I'll try to do a new cyclone on the closer bird friend.
Okay.
Okay. That is. I got a 4 and a 1.
That'll do it. Another one jumps up here. Let's see how Bird Friend does.
And I'll say, if anybody's got some rocks we can throw in there and probably do some damage to it.
The creature does not escape, does not succeed on its challenge, and it is immobilized. And it's in the washer now. And did you roll 2 dice? You rolled 2 dice on that. So did you want to move, or you good?
No. Welcome to the rock tumbler.
First Foundation, you are up.
Which way is this far? Coruscant, is that what they're called?
Coruscant, yeah.
Coruscant. Which way is it flying?
It is heading due west.
West. All right.
Or left, however you like it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You know what? If it's within manifestation distance, I'm going to... Can I manifest some sort of a solid barrier that it flies into?
Yeah.
Almost like a bird hitting a window?
Definitely. So we said it was 8 feet off the ground, so that's within your standard manifestation distance. So if you want to throw up an 8-foot tall wall or a pole, a staircase, something like that, you can attempt to do that.
Yep. Like material-wise, can it be like a stone wall?
I would say if it's... Yeah, you could be stone. Well, actually, yeah, it could be stone or wood. If you wanted it to be metal for strength purposes, then you'd have to roll doubles. But stone or wood would be fine within a standard success.
All right, I'll just do a standard manifestation of stone wall.
And 1 or 2 dice.
I mean, I'm gonna roll 2. I don't know why I wouldn't roll 2 at this point. I want this to work. All right, here we go.
All right.
Come on. Oh, a 3 and a 2.
3 and a 2, you can bump it.
I'm gonna bump it.
Okay.
Let me just make
And
sure
don't
how many
forget,
of these
you
have
all
I
can
used.
You all can assist regardless of the outcome if you want to. If you can. I don't think you can. I think everybody spent their dice.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
except
gonna
for Tosh.
use
Tosh hasn't gone
primacy. I'll use primacy and bump it to a 4.
Okay, spend 1 primacy and whack, that wall jumps up in front of the creature as it's flying. It's not its turn yet, so we'll see what happens from there.
Okay, and then how close can I get to Ela?
8 squares. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
It looks like I can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'll just get over here to Ela. Are you okay?
For now, that was a close call.
Yes. He'll kind of like help you up. I don't know if you were down, but he'll help you up.
Oh no, I just probably was like leaning to the side because I basically have this like gash from the talon going into my arm. But I've now can move.
And that takes us to Tosh.
Tosh, seeing his friend getting injured, like pulls back their blindfold so that they can see clearly, and reaches out towards the one that has the blindfold around their body, their face, and wants to kind of like crush it around their head to do kind of like gravity crush attack.
Okay. Yeah.
With full intent on murdering. So that's 2 die.
You got it.
That's a 4 and a 3.
You can bump
and
that 3.
I'm gonna bump that 3.
Roll that 2d4 damage.
So bring that down to a 4. 2d4.
Yep.
Wow.
That's gonna be 5 damage.
All right. You crush the environment around it, like thin out that bird, tenderize that meat, and you can also slow it or hobble it for the next round and a half.
I want to hobble it. I want to hobble one of its wings.
Okay, you hobble it, which means that it's all physical actions are at an increased difficulty scale, kind of like it was with the Void Hood, but the Void Hood just went away, right? Because yeah, all right. So the Void Hood goes away, but it's still lame.
Awesome! It's super lame for harming my friend. And then Tosh is gonna run over to Ella and First Foundation and just kind of look at Ella's injury with great concern, and that'll be the end of their turn.
If Ela sees it, I've been through worse. Believe it or not, I'll be fine.
Meanwhile, this creature is flying full speed into a wall, and it sees it just as it arrives.
No.
I'm going to give it just a chance.
Remember, if it has to physically move out the way, it's a little
That's
hobbled.
right. That's right. Hobbled. It does try to dodge, and it's not enough, and it plows into that wall. I'm going to say, so at the speed that it's going, it's not quite the same as like a full fall, arguably. So I think, but it definitely takes another point of injury. And it falls to the ground, so it is slowed for the next round and a half.
You're not going anywhere, pal.
So that one goes onto the ground. Well, it's slowed. It's not normalized, so it's snailed. There we go. The other one is going to try and get out of that cyclone. Yep. But let's see what direction it heads. It goes this way.
Smart.
And yeah, so it's beelining that way. The other one just landed on the ground. And it is Ela's turn.
Ela's going to, with the since the other one flew out of range, she's gonna, the one that's now like hobbled and basically it's slowed down. She's gonna charge at this thing to spear him in the head. That's
Okay.
gonna be she's gonna try to do almost the same, her own crushing, but it's gonna be
With a weapon.
with the weapon.
You got it. All right.
Now the
Yeah.
question. Okay, let me see. No, I would, if I did, because enhanced body, I would have to. That would be my whole 2 dice action.
You
correct?
can do a 1 die action for that.
If
it's
I
just
wanted to enhance body in order to add, would that add extra damage if I basically hulked out in order to spear this thing straight in the skull?
Actually, what enhanced body does is it gives you a decreased difficulty scale, which gives you a better chance to hit and do extra damage. But it's already at a decreased.
So it would be unnecessary to do so.
It would be
Okay.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then she's going to then using her 2 dice to try to pierce it.
Chop it
Yeah.
down.
Oh, nice. 4 and a 3.
4 and 3, they both hit. So yeah, you crank into it. Because it's a 3/4, even with decreased, it's a standard. It's
Wait,
considered.
can I bump it up?
You can bump it. Yes.
Okay,
you
I'm
can
gonna bump it
to
up.
4/4. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to use
Exactly.
my primacy in order to make sure that I do that.
All right. So you get to roll 2 damage dice.
Fantastic. We're having Course Catan tonight. That's 5.
Nice.
She
Yeah.
does yell that out loud, by the way.
How exactly do you skewer this thing?
Exactly like she said. Basically, she just imagined this 7-foot muscle-bound woman charging at this thing as quickly as possible and just skewering. So basically, her spear just goes through the skull,
Yeah.
almost basically now it is basically almost half skewered by her staff at this point.
And those heavy leathery wings pop, 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 pop on the ground. And, you avoid those hooks at the top ends, but you hold the thing down as it goes into its death throes, and you have terminated this Corsicatant handily.
She pulls out her spear and swings it around to get off the blood of the Corsicatant. And she just is breathing heavy. Because she's upset. She got pretty messed up by this thing.
Scraped up, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's Ela. Ode, you've got the one that you just tornadoed is streaking across the sky in the opposite direction.
Does it look like it's running away, or is it just disoriented?
It came zipping out of that thing and just beelined. So it, as far as you can tell, it looks like it may be running.
Okay. I would like to use the wind to encourage it to go faster, further away.
Okay, you're gonna push it.
I'm gonna push it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
push it real good.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
That didn't work though. I got a 1 and a 2.
Ooh, okay. So the question is, does anyone want to assist? Do you want to bump that? Oh, okay. So go for it. Go for it, Tosh.
4 and 1. 4.
What?
First
How
one
many
was
dice?
4.
How many dice did you roll? 1?
I
You got a
rolled
4?
2, but the first one's 4.
Okay, because it's only 1 on the assist. The 4 is enough to succeed. So you, Ode, whoosh, this gust comes up. It lifts the tail feathers, and the bird goes into sort of a forward lurch as you shove it another 16 feet along it on its way. Almost a failure, and then all of a sudden there's this little bit of inspiration, and you blast it a little further on. And that was both your dice, so you're good there. And then that takes us to first foundation.
Feeling pretty satisfied that his friend Ela is not in danger anymore. Watching her skewer this thing was a pretty good tip off in that direction. Just going to scan the landscape to see if there are any more of these creatures or any other dangers about. I don't think the one flying to the east is posing a threat to anyone, so I'm not going to try to attack it.
Okay. And just as a pointer on Wotan, if you wanted to repair Ela's pauldron, you could do that as an action.
Yes, that seems like a good action. Can I also look around for danger and do both
If
of those?
you want to do a one die and a one die and a one die, I would let you do also a focused scan of the terrain.
Okay, I'll do that. So I'll do the focus scan first.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you look around and it looks like the terrain is open. It's clear. It doesn't seem like there are any more birds in that tree. It looks good.
Okay, and then I will. How does this work, Ty? Like narratively, how does the repairing of armor, for example, work with a Wotan?
Basically, you're just drawing manifestation energy together to reassemble the pieces. Just like bring them back into form and reshape them to what they were.
Have physical contact with the piece to do it, or can I channel that from a distance?
You can channel it from a distance because manifestation energy can be manipulated from up to 128 feet.
Got it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to channel the manifestation energy to repair the pauldron. Wish me luck. Oh, it didn't work out so great. I rolled a 1. But I have a reroll. I have a reroll from the chat.
You do. Yeah.
I'm going to use it. Thank you, chat. That didn't help, though, because I rolled a 1 again.
You have one more option. You can spend 2 primacy and reroll it again.
Let's do it. Wait, let's just double check to make sure that I have those before I get too cocky about this. That will put me at 1 primacy left.
Okay.
And for myself, I mean, I know, of course, how this works, but maybe folks watching, how do we get those back again?
You can get them back. There are certain items that restore them. Black water, for example, some tinctures, some plants. You can
Black smudge.
You don't know, but possibly you can get them back with the full rest, which is called a repose overnight. And you can get them back with recovery if you roll a double 2 or double 3.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm down to 1, but I think it's worth it because I'm feeling good about this. Here we go. That's a 3. Can I use my last? I don't know why. Can I use my last primacy to bump it to a 4?
Oh, because you're doing the pauldron thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Technically, no. You cannot spend primacy twice to change the same die roll.
Got it. Yeah. That'd be double dipping.
Right.
Yes. All right. So I rolled a 3.
Okay. So yeah, you're trying to form it back together, and it's just not. It's not drawing together right. So the energy is fighting you. So that's your turn, yeah?
This happens sometimes.
It does.
Yeah. It's
Tosh.
okay. We tried.
Tosh is so focused on Ella's injury that they're just going to put their hands on it and just kind of pull like the poison in the injured flesh into a void itself and heal them.
Oh, the void heal.
Oh.
Roll it.
Full send. 3 to 2, going to use a primacy.
All right. You can heal up to 1d4 or Ela's max, whatever's first.
That'd be 2. Ela.
Oh, perfect. I got this
Awesome.
full heal.
Nice.
So drawing the mysterious, you're actually drawing onto the Ixia roots and bringing that life-giving manifestation together, and you close up Ela's wounds.
And Tosh looks up to Ela and goes, safe.
Thank you, little buddy. I didn't know you could do that.
And and Tosh's turn.
Awesome. And this one just bails, continues to fly out of the area.
Good choice.
Yeah.
And don't come back, or else.
Yeah. So there you are in this open plains with a gore carcass and a Corsican carcass.
Ela, now that she's healed, she's going to, because she said she was making Corsican tonight, she's going to start off with that particular creature as far as like actually skinning it and like that whole process.
Yeah.
Since they're kind of like taking a moment to like compose themselves and recover.
Yeah.
So she's gonna work on that bird first before
Okay,
moving over to the other.
Give me a called roll lore.
That's a 2 and a 1.
Okay. So this
But
bird.
wait, I can make it double 2, right? Or for if I use primacy. But that wouldn't do anything.
It doesn't. It won't do. In this instance, it won't do anything because you're just trying to find parts that you can take off it. Because of the way that this bird was injured, the venom sacs with its talons are not retrievable. Okay. But that doesn't mean you don't get anything. You do pull from this creature. This is called harvesting. 4 talons, which are a half value each. So that's a full 2 value.
Okay, so 4 talons and 2 value.
But like I said, those really good talons are not accessible. But the meat, you can get the meat as well. And that'll go with your grasses tonight.
Yes.
Foundation would be, his instinct would be to also, go to the gore to see what's salvageable, but also before sort of manipulating the carcass, trying to figure out what killed it. Were it these flying beasts that killed it, or was there some other creature that killed it?
Give me a call roll lore, and we'll use it for the whole harvest and everything.
Okay. So that is a 4 and a 1.
Nice. Okay. All right. So what you determine is that the creature looks like it may have died naturally. In other words, it wasn't killed by anything. It may have just given out. And then it was scavenged later. I will say that there looks like there's some injury, some claw mark injury that is not consistent with the Corsican. So some other creature got to it as well, but you're not sure what. And then the Corsican were in there. And then as far as anything that might be salvageable off of this carcass, with that roll, the meat's not safe. The horn, you could get the horn off of there for a functional value of 1.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So value of 1?
Yeah.
Okay, gore horn. Love it.
Let me double check one other thing, make sure I give you the full value of that harvest. And meanwhile, so you have successfully fought creatures and harvested from the creatures and survived the damage, some of you, from the creatures, and experienced your manifestations. So congratulations on that. Oh, yes, that's right. Let's see.
We're pretty awesome.
There's more to harvest here. The hooves are a value of 1. On this particular carcass, 2 of them are harvestable.
This is from the gore.
Yeah. Sorry, the horn value is a half.
Okay.
The hooves are 1 each. And the hide, I'm going to say on this one, because it's a carcass of the potential value of 2, you can get half of that. So you can get another value 1 of hide from the creature.
Okay.
And then, as I said, the meat is rancid, so there's no value there. Collecting yourselves together and the materials from the fight, you press on towards Akshalo. And as you approach that city, between the village ruins of Svarn al-Pilak and I would say, Eli, you have heard of Phenom Plak Plak, which is another ruin, but you know nothing about that location. Lies the modern village of Akshalo Akaln, land of dark return. Lamplak descendants and even a few survivors from the day of the emergence form the primary population of this popular village. Given its location near the Al Turen, the Good River, and proximity to a series of abandoned ruins, the village is a common stopping point for explorers. Across the bridge is the northern half of the village. Along the stone bridge, hawkers sell wares, roasted foods, and trinkets, while beneath the stone crossing, the river courses past in a silently powerful current. Ela, you have family and Yalonk allies to the family here, and sometimes your cousin Gudla Nalnik and her team of Goodwill Reclaimers stay here when she has political tasks to see to. Gudla is the next in line to lead Akshalo when Daram Yalonk steps down. And make a called roll lore for me, if you would, Ela.
That's a 4 and a 3.
You have heard something in the rumor mill about Daram Yalonk being in ill health.
Okay.
With that bit of information and your arrival at Akshalo Akaln, I believe our session has come to a close. Congratulations, players.
Woo! Nice. We survived.
We did.
It's close.
And we did some cool stuff. That's cool.
Yes. I still had some health. I wasn't going down that easily. Not being 7 foot tall and 250 freaking pounds. No.
You are a big. I'm
a beast.
How many injuries can you take as
I have
on your
8
character?
health.
8? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
substantial.
Yeah. I knew I had to with this group potentially.
Yeah.
Our little small beings, they're powerful, but squishy.
Yeah. That's the exchange. So the way that it's designed, you either emphasize primacy or you emphasize hail physicality. And for the audience, there are 5 of the cultures they emphasize the power, and 3 of them emphasize the body. And then you build your character as you evolve in the direction you want to go, towards more power or towards more physicality, depending on how you want your character to design. And that may be informed by story and the way that things happen over the course of the story, or you may have in mind that you're committed to stronger in one area than another. But we essentially have 3 martial cultures and 5 primacy cultures foundationally. In the quick start, there are only 3 available to you. But if you enter the drawing and win a copy of the core rulebook, or follow us on our social medias and sign up on our mailing list to be aware of when we are actually go live with the crowdfunding next spring, you can have access to 5 more cultures, more disciplines, and a whole bunch more material in that rule system. So with that, Dave, where are we at?
Well, as you mentioned, there's a giveaway. So folks who are hanging out with us, first of all, thank you so much for the hype train, for supporting our team as we're getting the hang of being a team and using our powers. Super helpful. So thanks for all the cheering and the bits and support.
Thank you, guys.
We've got this giveaway. If you want to get in on the action ! Drawing, we're going to give that away in just a second here. Ty, thank you so much for getting this started and being willing to come over to the channel and run this. And
Woo and who, baby?
Lamar and
Woo and who.
Utahime and Ashley, thank you so much for playing. This is awesome. I think it would be great while we let a couple more people get in on the giveaway, if we go around the table and do just an outro. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, all that good stuff. And then we are going to raid into our friends over at Party of 2 RPG. So hang with us. Why don't we start with Lamar?
Top of the morning to you, lots, losses, both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. That's Lamar the Con Guy. You can find me Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all under Lamar the Con Guy. I am busy as crap on the internet. Let's see. This past Tuesday played reindeer games on Creators Assemble today, and joining it's my debut here on the Guild Superior Twitch channel. Woo! Oh, to play more games with this group.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tomorrow I have a rare day off. Or I might forgot what I'm supposed to do. Friday I'll be over at the DAT Network playing some Pathfinder 2E with my lovely Poppet Franklin. I have nothing this weekend, which is surprising. I have nothing Monday. I have nothing till next Wednesday. After Friday, I get to breathe. But make sure you check me out. I'll be at Anime Los Angeles in Long Beach, California, aptly named, the first full weekend of January. And, keep an eye on me. I'm in a band called Radio Go. So I'm in conventions. I'm a comedian. I do this stuff. I'm in a band. And I am tired.
Wow. Thanks for making time to hang out with us. Sheesh.
Thanks for having me.
I got to check out your band. We'll have to get the link to your to some of your music so we can drop that in the chat.
Radio.go.
Boom.
RadioGo.band is our website.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's jump over to Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and you can find me on this channel on Tuesdays for Heroes of Greyhawk. And actually, one more thing, we have a one-shot coming up in December of the production team.
Ooh.
So I don't know if I'm the first person to have said that, but
You
there's
are.
a basing game coming up in December. Keep your eye out for it. It's going to be on a Monday. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, Ashley. Let's jump over to Utahime.
Hi everyone. It was so much fun getting to play with you guys today, and I'm so happy to be here over at Guild Superior now. Yay! You can find me at my name, Utahime, Utahime, but add the cosplay at the end, pretty much everywhere, including Hive, BuzzBuzz. And I'm still on Twitter at Brianna DeCosta. You can find me there as well. I am up to lots of TTRPG shenanigans. So definitely check out my socials to see all that I'm up to. Tomorrow, I will be actually on my talk show, Power Word Talk, with one of my besties, Alicia Marie Body. I'm going to be interviewing her. I interview lots of creators within the space who are really making a positive impact on the community, and Alicia Marie Body definitely has made an impact on a lot of people's lives. So I'm going to be asking her about her journey in cosplay and fitness and all the good stuff. And then on Friday, I'm going to be over on the DAT Network as well with my friend Lamar here. I play a Kitsune gunslinger who may or may not be a pirate. So definitely check it out. And lots of shenanigans over there. Literally, I believe we had a dance battle to what was the name of the band? I forgot it already, but it was hilarious.
Oh,
I don't know. It's funny. It was some type of rock reference, but it was fantastic. So definitely go check that out over there. Otherwise, you can catch
friendship or something like that.
Something. My chemical like alchemist romance or something like whatever. Alchemist romance, whatever. But yeah, you can also see me live in person in Vegas, 9th through 11th of December. At Cosplay Expo. So if you guys are gonna be in town in Vegas, definitely I would love to see you guys there. I'm actually gonna be judging the cosplay competition as well, so that's gonna be lots of fun. So yeah, stay tuned for more stuff, but I'm passing it along.
Nice. Thanks for being here. So fun to have you. Ty, our seer, the one and only, the creator, the man.
Woo. Thanks, everyone. And real simple to find us, adventureslang.com. Everything is there. New social medias, if we jump over to hives and mastodons and lizards and stuff like that. But everything will be at adventureslang.com. So find us there. Check out our stuff. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to follow us and keep up with news on Nuovarden's development and availability when it finally comes to fruition. Thank you so much for your support. It's awesome to have you here. And yeah, check us out there and we'll see you next week.
Speaking of the Nuovarden core book, let's give one away. What do you say? All right.
Yeah.
Everybody in
Let's
is
do it.
everybody in. The giveaway is about to begin. Here we go. And the winner is Jeff
Yay,
Darth
Jeff!
Miller. Jeff, congratulations. Hey,
I
awesome.
know, Jeff. Congratulations.
Jeff, I'll reach out to you, get an email address, and we will get you the content when it's available and ready to be sent. Congratulations. And again, thanks a lot, Ty, for getting in on this and helping us bring this to fruition. We're going to go ahead and raid into our friends over here at Party of Two.
Party o dos.
Party O2 RPG.
Castillo dos.
Thank you all for being here, guys. We'll see you. Oh gosh, I should say tomorrow, Shade Song. Come and hang out with us. We've got a Shade Song Sunday. We've got our Blade Runner, and then we're back again next week for more and more fun. So we'll see you then. Take it easy, friends. Primacy!